Konnichiwa and welcome to episode 1 of the Leadership Japan podcast. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan. And much more importantly, you are a student of leadership, highly motivated to be the best in your business field. Today, let's talk about flexible Japan. Stop dreaming. Often the issue is the structure of the service model. Employ the cheapest hourly labour, provide the barest minimums of training, have non-professional management, and count the money. In the case of Japan, they can also exploit high levels of basic politeness. Hot milk is a byproduct of coffee shops, but try getting a glass of hot milk if it isn't on the menu. When my wife was pregnant with our son, she avoided coffee and tea but wanted something warm to drink. She became pregnant while we were based in Sydney, Australia, during a temporary posting there, and there was no hot milk on the menu. But flexible Aussies, and so no worries. The same coffee shop would charge her a slightly different amount each time depending on the serving staff on that shift. They would just decide what they thought it should cost as it wasn't already specified. Back in Japan, there was a sea of hot milk everywhere in coffee shop land, but staff always gave her a firm no. And that was that. It wasn't in the manual. Order or request something outside the manual, beyond the narrow range of orthodox procedure, and the easiest answer is no. The politeness of the Japanese language masks a lot of service sins. The act of having to think often seems outside the manual. Beyond my pay grade is an expression I absolutely loathe, as it exemplifies a total lack of interest in being accountable for the success of the business, or for taking any responsibility for the sanctity of the brand. I've never heard the equivalent expression in Japanese, if such an expression even exists, but the mentality can sometimes be familiar. In the case of foreign retail businesses, there are not so many here in Japan. For those that are here, I am sure a lot of effort goes into not just ensuring the quality of the goods or service, the delivery logistics, and the brand integrity, but also getting the team to be flexible around the not in the manual situations. If not, give us a call. Call centres are usually great for examples of inflexibility, as the low wages, high turnover, short hold time imperatives, and poor management cocktail really packs a nasty punch. My credit card was receiving a lot of work and was wearing out. To receive a new plastic card with the same number, I had to lose access to my card for 2 weeks. I'd send the old one back in order for them to send me a new one. After severe hand-to-hand combat over this, a solution was found. They sent me a new card and I sent the old card back. At the end of this struggle session on the phone, I wondered, why was that so difficult? I was reminded of John Cleese's line in the Monty Python's Dead Parrot sketch. If you want anything done in this country, you have to argue until you are blue in the mouth. Why couldn't that simple solution have been offered at the start? I cannot be the first customer in the firm's long retail history here in Japan who wanted a new piece of plastic with the same number. Why did I have to dynamite an acceptable outcome out of them? I recently recall being advised to go to a competitor by the person taking my call because of her total inflexibility to resolve my issue. I won't labour the point, but it's a simple issue around a preferred starting time. Her fateful words got my attention though. I thought, wow, this person is killing the brand and losing this business money. Why is that necessary? Well, actually, it isn't. However, it is often easier to be inflexible than flexible in Japan. So that is why we often get such service. My experience has been that there is also the inability to articulate sufficiently well the why it can't be done. In fact, there is usually no articulation, just a polite but firm refusal. This seems more like a training rather than a cultural issue to me. Reality check. Are your team members successfully articulating the why to customers when it can't be done? The more difficult to perceive service sins are in the corporate B2B areas, company-to-company areas. These are the not low-paid hourly workers, but are the relatively well-paid, lifetime employment, almost impossible to fire types. They sometimes lack accountability for the business, and brand integrity is a concept totally outside their mental frame. Mistakes usually make themselves apparent at some point, but this inflexibility that is killing the business and the brand is much harder to ferret out. You, as the boss, probably won't ever be told about it. It is almost invisible, and like a brand cancer, ignore it at your peril. So how do we build that go the extra mile, flexible mentality in our team members? Leadership and management are key factors in setting the tone of service delivery. Ask yourself, when was the last time I made any mention about the need to be more flexible in our thinking about solving customer issues? Or ask, when was the last time anyone who works for me in a leadership or management position said anything to the team about winning more share of the pie by being more flexible than our competitors? If the answer is never or close to it, then perhaps it is time to raise the issue and explain why this is important to your brand. Another tool often overlooked is values. Whenever you ask Japanese teams to compile a list of their personal values, a lot of wonderful words come up, all the usual suspects: integrity, trust, honesty, respect, but rarely do you come across flexibility. I do this a lot with clients, teams, and have never seen it. What this says is that we need to consciously add this as a value, articulate why it is important, and provide stories and examples to prime the pump. It needs to be constantly articulated as a differentiator of the brand, a powerful means of delighting customers. Get the team focused on this and pray your competitors embrace inflexibility well into the future. Make a plan to go after their clients in the meantime. To finish on a positive note, I was recently pleasantly surprised by the flexible attitude of a Japanese staff member of a mid-sized Japanese hotel. Due to a sudden heavy snowfall in Tokyo in that winter, drivers couldn't negotiate the hill near my home. I was one of those drivers and had to leave my car overnight in the car park of this particular hotel located at the bottom of that very snowy hill. Picked up the car and the bill the next day. The car park vending machine had never seen such a spine-chilling sum and couldn't deal with it, thus help was needed. After explaining why the car was there, the male staff member in his mid-20s said something very significant. "Thank you for not obstructing the road outside our hotel during the snowstorm. I will take responsibility and waive the parking cost." Wow! I wasn't dreaming after all. Good luck with getting more flexibility in service teams in your organization. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan podcast. If you'd like to access more great insights and information, then go to japan.dalecarnegie.com.